All right, welcome back, everybody. And today I'm happy to announce that we will be unpacking the live fish that I finally got. So, the fish that I am unpacking and very happy to have finally got are Clown Kilifish. The reason I got these is because most of my fish are bottom dwellers except for the beta. So I just wanted to get some fish that will float like in the mid to top section of the tank. Um, just so it looks a little more lively. And I got these this morning while I was at work, so they've been in this box for the past 2.5 days. So I really hope they're still alive. All right. Here they are. Let's raise this up a little. And let's get some light. There we go. There's one. And there's the second one. They both seem to be alive. I ordered a pair, a male and a female. I honestly, I was expecting to get adults, but I am happy with these small ones just because that means they'll live longer in the tank without breeding. Um, let's lower it back down. And that's one of the reasons why I did get a male and a female is so that whenever they do start breeding, any eggs or minnows that they have can actually feed the beta fish and the crawfish, because I know they like eating other fish and live animals. So there's that. I also ordered some brine shrimp eggs. Let's take a look at that. All right, so these are the ones I got. Ooh, not focusing. Here, let me try this out. There we go. Yeah, so I got these for the same exact reason, is so that I can like once a week throw some brine shrimp eggs in there, let them hatch. That way, it can feed the fish. Any that survive will reproduce, create more eggs, create more shrimp, and so on and so forth. I will be putting more of them in once I fully aquascape the tank. That way, once it has the carpeting down and all the other plants, they'll have more places to hide, so they'll live a little longer. All right, so let's put them in the water. All right. So, as usual, how you're supposed to do it with them, I'm gonna put them in the water, and I'm gonna leave them in here for a couple hours. Well, maybe about an hour or so. Let them get accustomed to the water temperature, and then after about an hour, what I'll do is I'll transfer them into one of these cups and then slowly start adding water from the tank in here into the cup and mix it in with their water so they get more used to it. Just because I don't know what the water parameters are in the water that they're in right now that's in the bag. So, and since they're small, I'm pretty sure they'll die faster if I just dump them in without accumulating them.
2 hours later.
All right, so it's been roughly about 2 hours now or so since they've been in the bag and in the water. So now what I'm going to do is take them out. I'm going to cut a hole right here and then pour it out into this cup. All right, so there they are swimming in there beautifully. Now I'm going to set them back in here. Seems to be float. There we go. And I'm actually going to take this lid and this tie bag or whatever they're called and send it through. Twist it around. That way I can keep it from tipping over and from sending them into the water earlier than I want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this eye drop and I'm going to add about 5 milliliters of my water, tank water. 3, 4, 5. Close it. And I'm just going to hook it like that. And about every 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to add 5 milliliters of water until I fill up the whole cup. And then once I fill up that whole little canister, I'll let them back into the water. All right. See you guys when I release them in there.
2 hours later.
Hey everybody. So I'm going to be making a DIY little hiding place for my Clown Kilifish. I was expecting to get some like juveniles or even adult Clown Kilifish, but instead I got some little fries, which I'm not complaining about. But I just wasn't prepared for that. And my aquarium at the moment doesn't have enough vegetation, top vegetation, or just hiding places high up for the killifish to hide in. Just got one little plant hot glued, and my beta fish always loves resting in there if it's when it's not resting by the heater and water filter. So I'm going to be using some of my decorations from my previous decorations I used to have. I'm going to use parts from them to build a little safe space for the killifish. So let's get to it. All right, so here I have a sphere that you close it and then you tie it to a submarine. That way it kind of keeps the submarine floating. I used to have that. And then I also have this decoration. Whoa. Focus is real bad. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. And so I'm going to be taking some of these plants off the decoration and I'm going to hot glue them onto here, as well as I'm going to put some Monte Carlo on the inside before I put in the aquarium so that the fish can have somewhere to hide on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to leave a gap about almost a ½ inch so that the killifish can still swim and hide in here, but my beta fish can't get in here. And it's going to be high enough to where my crawfish won't be able to get in as well. My Cooley Loach and Pleco, they're not threats to to my fries, so I don't have to worry about them. So I'm gonna hot glue about like that. And this is what I've made. Now I know it's not the prettiest, but there's enough on the sides to keep the fish from have somewhere to hide, and these will kind of protect the front from the beta fish even trying to attempt to get in there. And now I'm going to be putting some Monte Carlo on the inside of it so that the fish have somewhere to hide. All right, so I got some small pieces of Monte Carlo out that I am gonna use some tweezers to put inside. I'm not putting any really big pieces in there just because I'm trying to carpet those out. And I mean, this might grow on carpet in here. And in order for to do that, let's add a little bit of sand in there just so there's some substrate for it. All right. A little more sand than I wanted to have in here, but that's fine with me. All right, now I'm also going to collect all the floaters and put those in there as well. I want to have as much vegetation as I can so that Kilifish, which I have yet to name, uh, in there so that they feel as safe as possible. Because even though my beta fish has yet to show any signs of aggression, in fact, he seems to show the complete opposite of that. Like I've had to pull off Alejandro, the crawfish, off of him multiple times because Alejandro just grabs onto his tail and hangs around, and Boris tries to swim away, but fails miserably every single time. You'd think he'd learn, right? All right. Now that I have that in here, let's go test it out in the aquarium and see how it works. All right, so I have been adding water every 15 to 30 minutes or so to get my clown Kilifish adjusted to the water that I have. Here, let me change it to white so we can see a little better. And as you can see, this is the decoration I was talking about earlier. Boris loves to hide here, like laying here. Even with this water low, like he'll hide in here and like half his back will be sticking out the water. At the moment, he's hiding right there in his favorite little spot. Either he likes to hide either right here or like right in between there. But so right now we're gonna put this decoration in the water. Let it fill up. Get any air out. And as we can see, it sinks all the way to the bottom. So what I'm gonna need to do is get some string and tie her up so she floats. All right, so here I have some strong stretch fishing line type stuff that I use for the submarine decoration that I used to have in here. It came with it. I'm not the biggest fan of it just because of how much it stretches, but it still does the job. I'm gonna cut off a whole lot of extra just because I'll rather have extra and not need it and have to redo this like 50 times. So I'm gonna set this on top right here. What I'm gonna do first. Now, I am not a Boy Scout, so I am not very good with knots. So I usually just kind of make them up along the way and see what works.
One eternity later.
Whenever I get like my duckweed in here and it starts growing, I do understand it's going to be a pain to take the hot glue off. But for now, that's what I'm looking at. Not too noticeable, but it's still there. And I know when I put my lid down in, it is going to move it around just a little bit, but that's not an issue. It's not going to move it around enough to actually make any huge differences. Voila, there we have it. My new floating decoration for the Kilifish. He is looking. Oh, there we are. Looking quite lovely. There we are. And as you can see, Boris loves it. He's already testing it out, taking a nap in there. And I'm actually going to separate Boris real quick before putting in my Clown Kilifish, just to be on the safe side, since he hasn't been introduced to any top swimming fish, let alone frogs. So we're going to catch him and set him aside real quick. Now, I do understand this container is too small. There he is. I understand that is way too small for a betta fish, but it is only a very temporary thing. All right. So there's the Healy loaches. Water. Let's turn the light off. There we go. Now it's a little. Oh, one just got out. And I think they're both out of the. Yep, they're both out of the cup. Just turn the water back on. Let's see if we can find them. So there's one. And then there's the male. Well, I believe that's a male since he is more colorful. And all right, and now that this container is free, we can fill it up with some water. Put Boris in here. Now he's a little more comfortable. Not by much, but a little bit. All right. Some of these plants gone out of the pulley enclosure I made. Let's put them back in there. Oh, that one's got a root. Nice. There we go. And what we're going to do tonight is turn off the oxygen. Reason being is because it seems like the Heelys are having a little trouble swimming with the water current. It's not just from the air bubbles, but from also the filter. So this will kind of help them get used to it and do better. All right. And as you can see, the male the Keely, is swimming around in the back, while the female is hiding up here up top. Yep, she is alive. Okay. Got a little death scare there for a second. All right. So what I'm going to do is keep the betta in this cup overnight. I'll put the lid on top so he doesn't jump out. And We'll kind of let the Keeleys settle in a little bit before I let Boris back in there, just because I don't want him to eat the Keeleys overnight. And as you can see there, that is Lockley swimming around. He's having his zoomies. He loves having his zoomies in this corner right here. And sometimes he'll even take his zoomies as far as going into the enclosure where Alejandro likes to hang out. He either hangs out there or hides in this little cave or just hangs out with PT Barnum, my Playco, who is hiding somewhere underneath there. But all right, that's it for tonight, and I'll keep you guys updated on how the Keeleys are doing and how they adapt and how grow and how Boris adapts to them. All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace out.